Funding for the following program was made possible by these contributors and by the members of WPSX TV.
Okay, could I have the Dream Team members here? And could everybody else kind of move in here so you can see? Yeah.
Hi, my name's Jeff Fredericks. I'm president of the Wild Dream Team. Welcome to LifeLink. All last year, we worked very hard as a team, creating LifeLink.
This group of high school students from a special education class has been planning for this moment for the past 14 months. They're about to embark on a new journey toward independence. They'll be living in this apartment, away from their families, something none of them has done before.
This whole idea of becoming independent is a little scary for us and our families.
To outsiders, this whole idea that mentally challenged high school students could live on their own may seem far-fetched. But not to these students. They came up with the idea. It was their dream. That's why they call themselves the Wild Dream Team.
We need to write down that she made it with someone's help. What else could she
The 11 members of the Wild Dream Team attend State College High School in central Pennsylvania, which has a student body of 1,800. Wild Dream Team members take special education classes for the most part, but each student also takes mainstream classes such as current issues, photography, business economics, and musical theater. These mainstream classes connect them to the other students and help them feel part of the larger school. Despite their classes, the students worried they wouldn't be ready for adult life when they finished school. So they studied the problem and came up with a unique plan, the first in the country to include living in their own apartment. This apartment is called LifeLink.
We're trying to get students started on living in the real world while they're still in high school, and so that they have the skills on living on their own by the time they have graduated.
We were the first ones to get this idea. The old Wild Dream Teams never thought of this apartment idea.
We all take turns staying at the apartment, each of us from the Wild Dream Team.
We just want to live like in a real world.
This program looks back at the students' journey toward independence.
What do you think these are?
Applications?
Job application.
Okay, for what?
Transition coaches.
Transition coaches. What are they going to teach you how to do?
Like cooking and all that stuff.
Yeah, all the transitions, all the living skills. They're going to teach you how to live in real world. They're almost more important than I am. Because your next step, well, think about it, guys, your next step out into the real world, that's your next step into the real world, isn't it? And this person's going to be responsible for teaching you how to do that. It's real important, isn't it? So you got to get the best person you can.
Terry Lindner teaches a special education class called Transition.
Okay. The transition class is a class where you specifically target issues that you think that they need to learn in order to be a successful adult. I'm responsible for teaching them skills like, can they articulate their needs? Can they understand their needs? Can they fit into a group? Can they work as a team? All those things, and those are all abstract, and they're hard to decide, how do I teach that? I mean, how do I teach a student where most people don't expect high goals to set high goals, when most of the people around them do not expect high goals? Okay, let's go. Lenny's got the key. We're ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll, right. What is the sheet? What are we supposed to put on this sheet?
Inventory, what's broken, what's not.
Okay. Okay, we're going to write this in, right? And Jesse, we're going to write the things that are right or the things that are wrong?
What things are wrong?
Okay. When's the next time they're going to look at this sheet?
When we move out.
When you move out. Okay. So we better have down what's wrong now. Otherwise, Who's going to be responsible for
We
it?
are.
We are.
Okay. And who's going to pay?
We.
We are. So we don't want to be paying big bucks. All right, I want you to inspect the sofa. And what you're going to be looking for is if there are any rips in the sofa. What's the sofa?
So
Where is it? Okay. What are you going to look for, Matt?
look for a scrape.
Oh, what else? How about rips in the material?
In the material.
Okay, so that means you're going to have to
Have to
pick up the cushions, and of course, look
pick
what
up
Chris
the
Dixon's doing over there. He's putting the stuff right on there. You're going to have to negotiate that with him, huh? Okay, you go look there. That means you're going to have to pick up the cushions, turn them around, look at the zippers, okay? Then if there's something wrong, you have to tell me. All right, go to it. All right, Lenny, I want you to do the end table, which is right over there. Yes. All right, guys, turn around and look at this. See what Matt found? Matt, what's wrong with this cushion? Tell Chris, what's wrong with this cushion? Look right here.
It doesn't have a zipper.
Doesn't have his, I see a zipper. What's wrong with it?
It's missing
Here it is, the zipper's here.
here.
Okay, what's wrong with it? It's,
It's
what do you call that? The zipper's there, so it's not
Yeah.
missing. So what do you call this when it's like that?
uh,
Do you know?
no,
Then you have to say, I don't know.
know.
Okay,
I know,
Matt,
it's
if I, no, if I took your shirt and went, what would I do? I'd what?
I
Yeah, say it.
rip.
Rip it. Okay, so now look at this. What's wrong with it? It's,
It's
if I kept pulling this, it'd be what? Say it. Say it.
rip.
Right, you're right. So it's, so what do I have to put down on the slip? That the zipper is what?
Zipper is
Say it.
ripping.
Yeah, it's ripped. Good. Is it missing? No, it's there,
No,
isn't it? But it's,
there.
it's
It's ripping.
right.
My name is Matt Campbell. I'm 22. I'm a part of the Wild Dream team.
He needs to be stretched and challenged. And when he first came in, he was very, there was not a lot of affect, and he would just stand and wait to be directed, and stand and told what to do, and there was very little language input. What's the matter?
I don't know.
Okay, is there something the matter? Is there something the matter with this right here?
Yes.
Okay. What's the matter with it?
Scratch.
Okay, do you know the words?
No.
Okay. Should it look like this, Matt?
No.
Should it be all nice and flat, do you think? See, look how nice and flat this is down here. It's all glued in. Look at what happens when I take my finger off. Is that supposed to do that?
No.
So it's coming what?
Coming out.
All right, it's coming out. And is it dented here? Okay, so Matt, what should I write down on this sheet? What's wrong with this?
It's coming out.
Okay, good. It's an environment that has expectations for him. I mean, we've had other people tell us that Matt has plateaued. That's it for Matt. And I just refused. I don't think anybody ever certain things, but I don't think a human being, no matter how disabled, ever just totally plateaus and that's it for life. I think it's very important that you think of it like a lab, a place where they are going, where they are learning to live, to make that link to life, where they are experimenting with new things, and they are coming up themselves with new ways to effectively create programs that will transition them. It is driven by them. And that's really what we want to get across. It's driven by them. So the first question is, well, then why are we having this meeting without them? The kids had a chance to draw up rules, permission forms, all kinds of things, without pressure from you. So we said to them, it is only fair that you have a chance to look these things over and comment on it without pressure from them. And that, I think they understood that and thought that was fair enough. Okay, so here's the problem. You've got them now in a place where they can meet a lot of very nice, appropriate people. The downside of it is there's the whole question of socializing, parties, etc.
We've got to think about, are these kids going to get in with somebody who, you know, become friends with somebody who has parties, you know, and then they're going to say, oh, come on, you know, it's not going to hurt to have one beer.
Right, and the kids have thought of that, and that'll be down in the line in here. Okay, now go through the categories. These are hysterical. So go to individual apartment of same sex. Go to individual apartment of opposite sex. That's a big X right there.
In red.
Go for a walk with same sex. Go for a walk with opposite sex. You know, you've got some attractive kids here. What if somebody comes along and says, you know, can Kristen... You see...
Just put a big X on never. I'll dump it down.
Do you think it says opposite
Do you
sex?
see why this process needs to start in high school? It's everybody getting used to the idea of people being independent. Everybody, including parents.
At first, I didn't really even like the program. I thought, oh no, this isn't going to work.
She's overprotective of me. That's why I thought she would say no.
Lenny Hockenberry, 15, lives with his mother, Mary Hazel, and a sister, Gail.
They're all special needs kids. Every one of these kids that's in there are all special needs kids. And at first I didn't think it was going to work because each one of them have different special needs.
I'm her little baby because of my eyesight.
The doctor said probably by the time he reaches, I don't know, maybe 40, he's going to be totally blind. So he is going to have to be dependent on somebody other than himself.
Some people called him Baldy because his hair. Called him stupid. Called him blind. He can't see very good. And all I do is say, hey, we can't help it if he's blind. But you don't have to tease him about his eyesight.
He's really going to need somebody. And I want to be there as much as I can.
Here are your rules that you made up, and they're all in order here, and we've enlarged them, okay? What we're going to do is put down categories.
Okay.
Then I will read the rule that you made up, and you can tell me which category it's in. Okay, here we go.
Go ahead.
Category.
Telephone rules.
Cleaning and
laundry rules.
Courtesy
rules.
And that has to do with a happy face, meaning that if you're polite, if you're nice, if you're courteous, everybody will be happier. That's why I put a happy face.
Jeopardy question coming on.
All right, well, just a minute. Okay, then we have the visitor rules. That's why we have a welcome mat, okay? Okay, how about this one? No all-night parties.
Courtesy.
Yeah, but what other one could it fit under?
Visitor rules.
Visitor rules, right, because
Visitor
that's how many, okay. No parties during the week, only on weekends.
Courtesy.
Okay.
There's another category.
I have a problem.
Visitors,
with that.
right. With what, honey? No parties during the week,
I
only
have
on
a
weekends.
problem.
Okay, what's the problem?
Go ahead.
Well, let's say that someone invites someone that we don't really know. You know,
When?
to this is just a hypothetical question.
Okay, yes, all right.
Let's say that someone invited someone that we didn't know real well, but they invited them anyway. When I mean, how would we know if that person wouldn't damage something in the apartment? You know, because we wouldn't know them real well. You know.
Well,
He's got a good point.
You know, if someone invited someone and they wanted to have a party, and we don't know them real well, how do we know if they won't damage something in the apartment? And then we would be liable of paying for it. And
okay.
That's
Okay.
a smart move. That's
So
a
what
smart
might
thing
there be a
you're
rule
saying.
about visitors?
that it has to be someone that we know.
Well, then that means
Wait
you
a
could never,
second.
wait, just say, okay.
I object. I object to that because you could bring someone you don't know.
Okay,
and,
but
wait,
let Andy finish.
let me finish.
Time out, guys. All right.
Jeez.
Andy's turn. All right,
I
Andy's
said,
turn. All right, now just
you
relax. It's all right.
you could bring someone you don't know that someone else knows, and then you can introduce them.
Yes, but
to people.
He's worried. That's okay. So Andy's point is well taken, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you still haven't helped him with his fear that someone he doesn't know that you know might damage the apartment. So what other rule might you set up? Yes.
Hint.
Go ahead.
Set up these visitors rules while there's a party, and let the visitor read these rules, and tell him what he can do and what he can't do.
Great.
That's a good idea.
So in other
That's
words,
a great idea.
You're responsible. Anyone who invites somebody over is responsible for telling the visitor what the rules are.
Right.
Yes.
Does the visitor have to obey the rules or not?
They have to obey the rules.
Kristen, what do you think? Does the visitor have to obey the rules?
Or else, oh, I know. I know.
What?
Or else they'll get kicked out because we don't want any.
Just okay. Well, maybe.
Yeah,
that's
warning
later.
and
You
then-
got to decide.
And then
okay.
warning, and the second time they'd get kicked out because if they are like, how do I say this? Okay, if they're like being silly or being crazy,
not obeying the rules.
not obeying our rules, we just throw them out. I'm Andy Gertner. I'm 18. I'm now a senior, and I'm a member of the Wild Dream team.
He's very personable, outgoing fellow.
He appears normal to a lot of people because of the way he looks and everything, and so there are expectations placed on him. A lot of times people expect more from him, and that's always a concern. You know, sometimes I say he looks too normal, and and people expect more of him.
Andy suffered a severe head trauma. He has diffuse brain damage. He has some difficulty with motor skills.
Takes him a long time, a lot of repetitions to learn something. Once he learns it, he's got it, but it takes him, a long time.
Okay, this is number 6, so it's the 6th person we've interviewed.
The students interviewed more than a dozen candidates for 4 jobs, 3 transition coaches and a supervisor.
This is Janelle Pheasant.
After reading the job description, do you have any questions about the job?
I'm interested in what goals people would be working towards and how you're developing them so that I can help you with them.
First off, I want to learn how to cook and clean because that's important. And also, I'd like to learn how to run electrical equipment like washing machines and dryers and dishwashers.
I want to learn how to balance the bills we get on my own so that I know how much we're paying for the apartment and know how much money we have left to spare for other special things that we need to keep ourselves alive.
I want to learn how to cook homemade stuff.
Okay, so you could cook healthy things?
Yeah, like cheesecake and all that.
Okay, like cheesecake. Okay.
The students hired Janelle Pheasant for the full-time position of live-in transition coach.
Okay, I hereby call the second meeting of LifeLink to order. I want each of the students to say what they're going through themselves. Andy, talk about what you were talking about today. How do you think your parents are going to feel, Andy?
Probably a little sad because I'm moving out and it's brand new and it's kind of exciting and it's pretty hard on all families. I mean once you move out into the real world, you're out there. There's no parents in back of you. There's no like all you got are friends and family. And families are pretty important, but some people have to move out
I wasn't sure how he was going to be supervised. There are certain ways that he does things, and only it seems like I'm the only one who can help him do certain things. That kind of feeling that nobody could do this the way we do for Andy. But I really want him to do it. I think it's a wonderful opportunity because I want him to learn these things. And so I guess I was excited about it too, but pretty skeptical at first, I guess.
I guess what I'm concerned about is Andy's enthusiasm. Sometimes he's over enthusiastic about things, and I had some concerns about that.
I didn't know how long I wanted to stay, which was obvious, and I didn't know where this was and what was where it was located, and then I said to myself, get a hold of yourself.
What do you want to learn in this next year? What kinds of stuff do you want to learn?
I would like to learn how to drive a car.
I knew he was. He always says that, no matter what. He always says he wants to learn to drive a car. Okay, good, all right. Matt, what else would you like to learn?
I would like to learn how to wash
Okay, wash what? The dishes or your clothes?
the dishes.
The dishes, okay. Do you have a dishwasher at home?
Yeah,
Do you do the dishes at home?
yeah.
Mom, does he do the dishes at home?
He puts them away.
Okay, good. So now you can learn how to put them in the washer and do all that. Okay. How do you feel about going?
Happy.
You feel happy? Okay, do you like the idea of doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
One of my biggest concerns is that for 22 years there's been a lot of caretaking, and it's very easy for a mother, I think especially a mother of a child with special needs, to be more involved in that caretaking than sometimes is healthy. You know, I guess I'd always thought, well, he'll live here with us. Always. I think he's much happier when he's got more sense of independence.
How's it going, Matt?
Oh, just two more movies. Right here.
Okay.
Hola, adios.
So I'll see you after school, all right?
Good. So,
You help and do all things you need to do, okay?
Just really hit me that the reality of that means that him being there is he's not going to be here, and all the things that I think I know intuitively how to take care of him, they'll be doing that. And that was a little frightening, because I thought, are they going to know everything?
All right. You have a good time, all right, honey? See you tomorrow.
Say,
Well, have fun,
okay.
guys.
We'll see you later, Mrs. Campbell, and yeah. See you tomorrow.
Bye. And you have our phone number and all that, right? Yeah. Okay.
And
Thanks.
I already know mine in my memory bank. My old memory bank.
See you tomorrow, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mrs. Campbell. Have a nice
We
morning.
gotta have it sitting something while rounding this stuff up.
Will.
how are you with the knife, Matt? You pretty good with the knife?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Andy told me he was all right last week, and we had a little finger incident.
I really shouldn't be
Should be
doing the
careful with
knife
knives.
anymore.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do it anymore.
You wanna try this? All you're gonna do is slice down through here like that. Okay?
Just watch them do it. Just watch them do it and see.
I don't
if he's
really-
okay with
There you
it,
go.
know?
Wanna give it a try?
I really don't know if I want to do this again, because I don't want to do the same thing I did
Okay,
the
well,
other week.
we're working a little bit differently this week, Andy, so.
Okay.
Can you slice down through there?
Oh yeah.
Down through there. There you go. Now pull back slowly,
Whoa.
and then down through this one.
Oh yeah. Oh, flying lettuce without a license. Without a license.
One more time, okay? Here we go.
Whoa.
Good.
Our cowboy casserole dish last week exploded. It did. You didn't know because you were here. What happened was we were cooking it, and it burst out. It just exploded. Right, Matt?
Didn't we tell him in transition class?
Yeah, I think we did.
He's fitting you good, Andy.
Did Andy use his fingers too?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You're smart, Matt.
You can help me. Pull that off. Pull it off. Just give it a yank. Keep going. Keep going. Almost there. Oh.
Andy, tell
I
me
can't
something.
tell. I can't tell
What
anymore.
does the bottom sheet have? We went through this in your room and you knew.
I don't know. I lost it.
Do you know what the bottom sheet has on it?
She has bottom sheet.
Do you know
You
how
know?
it's different?
No.
Do you know? Matt, can you tell us me again?
I know it.
Can
What
you
is
tell
it,
me
Matt?
again?
What? See, this sheet has a crease like this on it.
Yeah,
And
this
the
one-
other sheet doesn't.
This
Right.
one does.
And that's how you tell that this one will go on first, because it's got this crease on it.
Yeah, this
And they
one
tell you
doesn't.
that it connects to the cushion of the bed,
Yeah,
and not the other one.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to live out there because you got your friends. I know that, but sometimes you can miss your family, and then you'll be away for a long time.
This thing's clogged. No. This thing's clogged.
Sink?
Yes, totally. It's going down. Never mind.
Well, you know what? There's a whole cucumber in there. How about pulling that out?
Hot water.
It is. Well, you can run some cold water in it. Now we are doing your own checking account.
Uh-oh.
Pull out your phone bill first. Look at this here a second, okay? You can ignore this 1619, okay? Just take the 5017, okay? 5017, and you're gonna write it on your bottom sheet.
Right here?
Mm-hmm. It's an experience like none I've ever had before, I guess. It's I switch back as role model, mother, sister, grump. I don't know, it changes hourly. What? Nothing?
Did I do something?
No?
Why are you looking at me that way?
Because you just sat down and bounced me off the couch. I didn't look at you anyway in particular.
Ugh. Ugh.
The evening is all yours, guys. I'm done. Done with lessons for the evening.
Let's watch hey guys, I'm done.
Okay.
Let's watch a movie.
You decide.
Opera.
Only 4 of the 11 members of the Wild Dream Team are girls.
The girls really stick with each other. Like they very much interact with each other and I guess feel like they should be doing things together all the time. And in that, I'm included. Like, they expect me to be with them all the time. There's very little willingness in a lot of ways to go out on their own, to go to the clubhouse, to go to the mailbox, to go to the supermarket, the garbage cans, whatever, without me. And definitely, if I'm not going, somebody else has to go with them. You know, there's no wanting to explore just by myself.
Save on values like this beautiful price guard bed in rich cherry finish, which is $3.99. Solid wood, solid value. And this Bassett two-piece mirror and table set is just $99.
Don't find the bed. I love the bed. What do you want inside? No, nothing. Dropping is not a phobia. It's not a phobia. It's funny. Don't do that. It's not a phobia.
My name is Kristen McTavish. I'm the member of the Wild Dream Team.
Kristen is wanting to be a woman. Like she's almost 21. She's wanting to date. She's wanting to be out on her own. She's trying to feel her independence. Yet at the same time, she's very insecure and has a lot of questions. Kristen's only 5 years younger than I am. She's the closest to sort of wanting to be doing what I'm doing, I think, sometimes, and still needing to recognize that she's still in the learning student stage of this. And that it's good to be friends, but she also needs to realize when I say no, there's a reason for it, and we talk about it, and it's not to be that she's done something wrong, you know. And that's when I see her insecurities come up, or when she's trying to do something directly with me.
I've heard a lot of good things. I've heard a lot of things that we need to make stronger. I've heard concerns. I think everybody has to feel comfortable to say what they want to say, because the reason you're saying it is so that this whole thing can become stronger.
Like she's over there for a number of days, and then when she comes home, it's just like, I'm yelling and screaming at her. I don't want that. I don't like that at all. I don't want to fight with her. I don't want to argue with her. I want it to be the same way it was before this even started. I think she's feeling a freedom of going over there and doing whatever. And now she's back home. It's just like a college student come home, because I had 3 other kids to do the same thing when they come home. Well, there's all the laundry. Well, Kristen come home. She brought me all the laundry, just like the other ones.
You can't demand that they do this all the time. It's a suggestion more than a, you know, we'd really kind of like you to keep your room clean. I know you're kind of going.
Well, I'm going to object to that in a big way.
You're going to object to it.
This has not been a big problem for us, but I do think that we do have rules. We've lived with these kids for a long time. We have our, I think you said, our family rhythms and things like that. And when they come back, I do expect them to get back in line. The relationship has not changed that much.
You don't think so?
No. When they come back, they're still living under our roof. There's the rest of the family to consider. We have chores that we all have to do, and if they don't pitch in and pick up, then I get pissed.
But don't you?
But now, and I'm saying, I'm not saying we treat them like children.
Right.
But I am saying that I don't think the relationship changes just because they've been to the apartment for a few days.
The Wild Dream Team apartment is part of a large complex where most of the residents are Penn State students. Dream Team members hoped this atmosphere would provide an opportunity to interact with others.
One of the problems they see is one of the worst problems they face is loneliness and isolation.
If you don't introduce yourself, those friends will not be friends. That's the bottom line.
158's right here. Oh, it's 158.
Where you guys going? Right to 158.
Your apartment.
Don't ask us why.
One is a different height than ours.
Goalers and the goalie.
John is a neighbor the students met while playing pool at the community game room.
Our relationship developed pretty quickly, and in that, then it also gave the students more confidence to ask other people then to play pool or join them in foosball or help them out with the weights. There were only 2 students here at the time when that happened, but the whole group of 10 immediately seemed to come out of their shell and what they're willing to do with other people in the complex or at the grocery store and asking questions like, people aren't going to run away from me.
My name is Matt Prosek. I'm 18 years of age, and I'm a member of the Wild Dream Team.
Matt Prosek takes this very seriously. He's very serious about this. So if anything with Matt, we have to see that being independent can be, doesn't always have to be so serious.
Applesauce.
That's finest. Oh, no.
I didn't do it.
I'll be back. I'll go get someone. Okay.
Jim Shea is a part-time transition coach at the apartment.
So you changed your mind about applesauce, guys? You took off like a bulb there.
I felt like I had to pay for all this because the applesauce broke.
I think Matt's going to get somebody.
I mean, I was running like crazy up to the manager and say that an applesauce jar broke, and that I was afraid that I have to pay all this money for it.
Why, nothing like this has never happened to me before.
Well, you did good. You went and got somebody. You told somebody about it.
You get extra credit for life skills Monday.
That's a good job.
Well, once I heard a crack, man, I just got myself in serious mode.
Two of them fell. Luckily, the only one of them broke, huh?
Yeah.
You said you told somebody about it?
Yeah, I got to the video desk about the manager.
And then I think I heard them make an announcement about it.
Well, turned out I didn't have to pay anything.
Matt's turn to do it because I did it last time with Janelle.
Press. Where's that pointing to?
Right here.
Okay, good. We got pretty many groceries in there. What do you think will cover that?
Try 60? Or 40?
You think 40 would please?
That's what I'm trying.
Okay.
And here's your receipt.
Cool.
$41.96.
Uh-oh. Guess what? We bought more than we had.
Want me to go withdraw more?
Yeah. That was my fault. Matt, you were right in the first place.
With that 60.
Yeah.
I'm like, can't you go let me get more money out of the Mac machine? So I'm like, see, I told you we had to get $60 out of there. And so, I mean, I ran into the Mac machine like crazy, knowing what I was doing. So I withdrew $10 more out of there.
Super.
I even remembered the number.
Yeah, I forgot even to ask you if you remembered the number.
I picture him out of the nest. I don't picture him necessarily in another city or another state as I may the other kids, but I picture him eventually being able to live someplace. He's in a family situation where he's always had stimulation from his siblings, and he's always been treated just about as equal as we possibly can. And we understand his deficiencies, if you want to call them that, but we've always known that he has some strengths too. So, as an infant and a toddler, he would concentrate on a specific task. For example, he would take every Matchbox car that we had, and he would line them up routinely. Then he would mess up his line and start all over again. But he's taken that skill, and what we didn't realize at that point was that would benefit him later in life, because he can attach himself to a task that may be very, very repetitive for you and I, but he enjoys it.
Matt, like all the members of the Wild Dream Team, has a part-time job. He files personnel records. Kristen prepares floral arrangements. Matt Campbell sorts and reshelves videos.
Oh, we just about got it perfect. My name is Kevin Wright. I'm in 11th grade. I'm part of the Wild Dream Team.
Kevin is someone who is very streetwise, and sometimes I think that the image he projects is someone who's very tough and rough.
Kevin is trying to fix his bike so that he won't be late for work. When he arrived at the apartment, he was upset over an argument he had had earlier at school.
Might be faster for you to walk this time, Kevin.
Oh yeah, do you know how many minutes I got to work? Like 5.
Kevin.
When he gets mad, now leave him alone. He will start swearing at him, cussing you out.
She fucked my goddamn job.
Kevin, it might be a good idea just to call them and tell them you're going to be like 5 minutes late.
Yeah, 5 minutes late. Yeah. Try about 10.
Well, then tell them that you're going to be 10 minutes late.
Yeah, you know what they'll say? Bullshit.
Doubt it.
You better have that mic off.
Tell them you had transportation problems and you're going to be 10 minutes late.
Okay, crease on my leather coat, cool, huh? Better open that bike.
You want us to be over there to meet you when you get off work?
Whatever.
Okay, we'll be there. 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
When he gets out of bounds, he's withdrawn, and then we say, we're not mad at you. It doesn't matter. You just can't act like this. You need to leave. And then you have a break, and when you come back, you'll be reinvested in it, and I'm sure you'll be successful, but you need to know these are the bounds. So Kevin has learned that, and he has begun now to more internally control his behavior, and also he's begun to recognize when he feels those signs building that he is beginning to lose it or he's getting on edge. He now identifies that himself.
I'm working on it slowly. It's hard to do, though.
What do you feel? Do you feel things have been getting better?
Sharon Pearson, one of the teachers who works with the Wild Dream Team, met with Kevin, Janelle, and Ellen, who is the transition coach supervisor, to talk about Kevin's behavior.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say that I think that we've seen some real positive improvements over your first stay to your second and third stays.
He's also been a lot more willing to help out at the apartment and let me know where he's going and make an effort to get his jobs done. Big time improvements on saying, I'm really sorry that that happened, you know.
Don't worry, I'm not going to swear at the department or anything, so.
Kevin's language, I mean, we're going to talk about language in a minute.
Oh, it's gotten so much
But
better.
Kevin's language has gotten so much better.
It's
So we've got
wonderful.
a set of guidelines for here, and we're going to establish today a set of guidelines for the apartment too that will help you.
Don't leave food in your rooms. I gotta work on that because I haven't leaving soda cups.
Okay.
Keep this bathroom sinks area clean. I pretty well clean mine up.
You did pretty well at that.
I wipe mine up. I usually use a towel or something to wipe up the excess water. Then I throw the towel in the water. Do not complain when you get jobs. I gotta work on that. See, I'm admitting the things I gotta work on. Cause I do have a habit of complaining. I'm like, you know?
Not Kevin.
No, not Kevin. Kevin's a good kid.
Kevin is a good kid. But language is really, really your biggest
Well, if I swear
biggest
too
thing
much.
to do.
And...
Well, actually, what's going to happen is
Yes, I know. Go home. I already know.
you're going to get a warning, okay? If it's a little slip, that's one thing. It's when you get really angry and the language just comes pouring out and you don't stop it.
No, I'm gonna go outside for a walk.
Okay, if that happens, Janelle or Julie or Jim will give you a warning. Say, okay, Kevin, that happened one time. If it happens again, then you need to go home for that rest of that day. Okay, this could be a big thing for you. It could be tough. So that's why we're saying, if you've got something that's bothering you, talk with us here at school, or make sure you talk with the coach when you get there.
I know. How about my job?
Okay, go out for a walk, do whatever you need to do, so that you don't end up with this explosion of bad language.
Yeah, I know.
Because we know that the apartment's really important for you, Kevin, that you want to be there. Okay. Slide on in here, close doors. Okay, Lenny, Kevin has a concern, and I'm going to let him voice
Keep
it to
your
you.
feet back, please.
And then we'll talk about it, okay? All right, Kevin, go ahead and tell him what's bothering
Yeah,
you.
Lenny, I wish you wouldn't walk in my room. Last time I was down there, you know you walked in my room when I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Well, it's not gonna happen no more.
I said it wouldn't.
Well, there's a new rule now that it is not gonna happen.
There's lots of positive reasons why people want to have private time in their room. It doesn't mean that they don't want to be with you. It just means they don't want to be with you right now.
And I need space at the apartment.
About that, Kevin, I don't follow you all around. You asked me to go outside.
That's outside, dude, not an apartment.
You asked me, you want to go
That was outside, Lenny. That's not an apartment,
Do
Lenny.
you see the difference of what he's saying, Lenny?
Yeah.
Listen, dude, listen. Concentrate, listen.
We have to listen carefully to what's being said here. He said when you're inside the apartment, he feels like you're constantly right there. In fact, he had a good word for it. He said he feels like you're tailgating.
Mm-hmm.
He really likes you. You're a good friend. It's just sometimes he needs to be on his own.
It's just like in school here, dude. I need room. I cannot be crowded in. I can't.
Did that happen at lunchtime today?
Yeah, I was going to sit with him and he told me not to.
Well,
And I
but
moved.
Yeah, next table over. When I need space, what did the teacher tell you, Lenny? No, you move up. You don't move across. You move up.
Does Kevin usually sit with you at lunchtime?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like he was trying to ignore you or he doesn't want you to be around. It was just today he wanted to have some time with Noah. He hadn't seen him for a long time. Understand?
Yeah.
Kevin, can you understand though that Lenny was feeling a little bit left out because there was nobody else up there today?
Yeah, but I just don't want people following me.
But it doesn't give you no reason to ignore me rest in the cafeteria.
So, dude, maybe I want to talk to Noah, man. So what? So you talk to your friends, don't you? Maybe I want to talk to mine, so just shut up. Because you're about to piss me off. You are making me very mad.
But Noah didn't have to go like this, mushing you over to go somewhere else.
So maybe we want to walk around, so what? Maybe we don't want to sit in the cafeteria, right? Maybe we don't.
No.
No, I got my freedom. I can go where I want in this school.
Remember the volume?
I can go wherever I want in this school. I can go wherever I want.
I know that.
And you ain't my parent, you ain't my
Kevin,
guardian, you're
Kevin,
not a
Give
teacher.
Lenny a chance, okay? Can you see that Lenny's upset here? I think it's a misunderstanding today. Okay? What we need to make sure we understand is that, Lenny, do you understand that sometimes
Yeah.
Kevin needs his space? And if he asks you to leave him alone, it's not because he doesn't like you. It's because, for whatever reason today, he needs a space. Just like right now, you can see he was getting upset.
Yeah.
Okay, and Kevin knows when that anger starts building up inside of him, and what we're trying to help Kevin do is find a way to deal with that. And one of the things he's supposed to do is find his own place, his own space, and be by himself till he can bring it under control, because sometimes people without meaning to can set him off and make him angry, and he's learning to deal with that, and you need to respect the fact you need to respect the fact that he's trying very hard to keep it under control. And if he asks you to leave him alone at a certain time, it's because he's working hard with his own problem. You see how well he brought this under control. The old Kevin would not have gotten himself under control here, would he? Yeah, he'd have been out the door. Something would have been slamming and banging around out there, and some real.
It's like in my house.
See how hard he's working? Kev, you can also see that Lenny was pretty upset today, can't you?
Yeah, I see that, but I need room.
I know.
We were having a little conflict there.
We have been trying to teach Leonard, this is my space, that's your space. Don't invade my space unless I tell you to. We've been trying to get that through to Leonard now for a while. Maybe, I think this was good that this happened, because now I think Leonard is learning that, hey, I can't be getting in his face all the time.
A couple days later, he apologized, saying, I'm sorry for yelling and all this.
Ready to aim fire.
3 days after Kevin's meeting at the school, he stayed at the apartment again, this time without incident.
What I'd like now is my favorite part, where everybody goes around and says how they feel it's going for them, or has any questions, or just observations.
I'm really finding a big difference in the students staying a full week now. We're able to really start working on things. Before, when it was just 2 or 3 days, we'd get started and then they were gone again.
This whole experience has been really incredible for us, because there's a lot of stuff we just didn't think for a long time we would see, and we're seeing them a lot sooner. I think a lot of you have seen the pictures that have gone around, but I'm kind of keeping a little album of things that Jeff had not done before and is doing now. And since all of you guys all know that Jeff needs to drink this drink, and it's not been something he wanted to do. He wanted us to do it for the rest of his life. and he's doing it on his own. He's not measuring yet, but we're working on that. But this is an exciting, exciting experience for us. And then I just caught him making the bed, and I think at this point, in this picture, if you get a chance to see it, it looks like the bed won. But they eventually got the sheets on, and I really give a lot of credit to Janelle. She was so patient. I would have given up a long time before this, and she held it up, and we tried to figure out which side went what, and they were able to work it out. And he's just coming home, and it doesn't last forever, but I mean, he'll come home, and one day was in-service day, and I said, Jeff, I just put laundry into the washing machine. If you'd put it in the dryer, I'd really appreciate it. I got home, I looked down, there's no basket. I said, what happened to it? He said, I dried and took it upstairs already. I said, wow, I now have my own private butler. He said, but don't get used to it. So we're really excited about it.
Let's hear how it's going with Dorothy.
It's going fine.
All right, let's hear it. She had a lot of issues. For those that weren't here last time, she had a lot of issues last time that I think everybody helped with, and was very healthy. So how do you feel?
I feel it's doing all right. I'm happy. I think she likes it too. Only she says, "Can I go, Mom? Is it okay if I go?" I go, "Kristen, I don't care. Go."
Kristen, how are you finding the apartment? Do you like it, or how do you feel about the apartment?
I like it.
What do you like about it?
The people who's working with us are nice.
Aha, let's hear it. One mark for the people working with us.
I purposely did my wash wrong, which was kind of odd, and now I know that darks go with darks and whites go with whites.
Yeah.
So I know that. My mom and me made this crazy agreement that sometimes I can do the sheets and sometimes she can do the sheets. It's just like now I have to do my own wash now because my mom doesn't want to do it anymore on me.
Well, he did for a little while, and he does when I remind him, but he makes his bed every day, something he didn't do before. And today I asked him to clean his room, and he did, and cleaned the bathroom. I haven't checked it. I don't know what it looks like, but he did it. Things like that I guess partially my fault because I didn't expect it of him, but him coming back from the apartment and feeling capable, I guess, of doing that and really wanting to do it.
I see the effects of staying at the apartment lasting longer. And I guess the one thing that I didn't mention, I think the 7-day stays have been good for the parents too, because it helps us deal with those issues, realizing that he's not going to come back. It's not a weekend. He's not going to come back in 2 or 3 days. And so it helps us deal with some of the issues that we're going to have to deal with when our students do become even more independent.
I'm realizing, yes, he's going to be going on his own. It's hard.
At first I was beginning to miss him after the 3rd night. Now it's like we tease him when he goes over there. Oh, by the way, Leonard, Tuesday night we're having a pizza party. We're having lasagna Wednesday night. We have fun teasing him. His sister misses him at times.
Well, I had a friend stay over, and constantly, all the week, I slept in his bed because I missed him so much.
Welcome to the commencement for the class of 1995 of the State College Area School District.
The school year is over now, and 6 of the Wild Dream team members have graduated. Some of these graduates will move on to other things, and some will return to school, which they may legally attend until they're 21.
There's a lot of work to go. I mean, we're really just at the beginning. But what we have to, the hard thing is that you have to keep remembering it has to keep being driven by the students. And that's hard because your tendency as a professional is to take it over.
Life at the apartment continues.
Okay, it's talking about 1 serving here.
Yeah. So we gotta put 3 more of these.
Right.
So far, male students and female students have alternated living in the apartment, never staying overnight at the same time. Janelle thinks this should change.
They need to be learning how to interact with each other because they're not always just going to be girls and always just going to be guys. And learning how to share things and set their boundaries up. I don't know how excited parents would be about that. I'm sure that's real touchy for them.
Students will increase the length of their stays to 2 weeks at a time during the summer and hope to mingle more with residents of the apartment complex. And of course, their teachers keep looking to the future and the next members of the Wild Dream Team.
My hope is that life will become natural for them and that they will see that they can have a very full, independent life.
Okay, you're the victim. Crunch.
Jeez. Okay, pitch him up for a sec. Got it? There you go.
Where's my...
Oh.
I just screwed it up.
Not sure.
You've only burned 7 calories, Jeff. We gotta keep working here.
Funding for the Wild Dream Team was made possible by these contributors and by members of WPSX TV.